Alright guys, I hope things are going well. Today is Thursday, January 14th, the day after my wife's birthday. Wonderful day to be sure. You can see I've done a lot of painting for the Temple Flameguard. I've got all the prime block colors in on them except for the black on the shields. Focus, child. There we go. Which I'm going to start painting here in a second. I won't make you watch me paint all of it. But yeah, things have been actually getting painted more often here. I think it's helped. Getting back into watching other people's videos has helped a lot for me, and also receiving some of the gifts, but mostly the kids going back to school is the big buff to getting painting done, because without having to watch a 2- and a 5-year-old, I can actually get a few things done. And before I actually get started painting, I'm going to warn you of a dangerous modeling trend, and that is the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game. And it's very dangerous because they all come pre-painted. And so that break that is automatically applied to all of your modeling purchases, or at least for most normal people, not always for me, is that I have all this stuff I already need to paint. I need to get it all done. And so if you're not careful, you can very suddenly have a lot of models and a lot of money invested in a game that you've played maybe once or twice because the models are cool, and you see all these were all pre-painted, these were all already done, and if you want to, you can actually go back in and repaint them. Dr. Faust from the painting clinic repainted the big Corellian cruiser, or Corvette, excuse me, the blockade runner that you can get, and it's about this long on the thing. They also make, I'll get into that anyway, but he repainted it and then came to the conclusion that for the scale that these are in, that these are actually decent paint jobs that are on here. They're good enough to where you don't have to repaint them. And and if you look at them, look at the X-Wing here. Ooh. You see all, there's enough detail on here to where if you look down at the tabletop, you can see, you can't quite see Chewie and Han and C-3PO in the cockpit there, because they got the shades down. But yeah, it's a fun little game too if you like doing. It's fairly simple. There are some shenanigan rules you can get into as time goes on, but yeah, they also make a fleet action version of it where you can fly Star Destroyers and the big Mon Calamari cruiser and everything like that, which of course I also ordered because in the past couple of weeks my 5-year-old has gotten very interested in Star Wars. Just really interested. And we've watched Return of the Jedi. We've watched his favorite is Return of the Jedi because of the Ewoks, which is the main reason why some of the older Star Wars fans do not like Return of the Jedi, which I find both amusing and understandable. But I got the prequel trilogy too as well yesterday, and that wasn't as bad as I had remembered. Still not the best thing that's out there, but overall, it's not terribly bad. Darth Maul is still a pretty good bad guy. The writing is still, I haven't watched the second movie yet, which if I remember correctly was the absolute most painful, where you see kind of the ultimate in older women fantasies, where this lady who's in her 20s or 30s falls for a 5-year-old, and then by the time he's 15, what is the age difference? I digress. I'm not going to get into that. But and it could be space magic, where she doesn't age as fast as we people in the ancient past do. Not going to get into it. Stop. But anyway, the best thing is that my sons both like Star Wars, and so now instead of having to watch Caillou, which if you don't know who Caillou is, count yourself lucky, and don't go looking. I don't have to watch that. I don't have to watch Blaze and the Monster Machines. Instead, I can watch Lando Calrissian fly the Millennium Falcon into the heart of the second Death Star and blow it up again and again and again. And what poor boys will be so nerdy, but at least that's more acceptable nowadays. But anyway, I'm going to get, once I get all these crosses blocked in, and then again, for this, I don't have to be terrible careful. Because I'm going to come back in and repaint, come back in and paint the shields with the step up on the white color after I do the dipping. And so I just want to make sure I get all of the cross covered before be careful there now. Still doesn't hurt to be a little careful. I found out my main gaming partner, who lives here in town with me, will be moving in a couple months. His wife got a much better job offer someplace else, which I'm not going to name him, just in case the people are looking. Because it's kind of hush-hush at the moment. But the downside is that I lose my gaming partner. Second one lost in 6 months. Not lost, but just, moved out of the way. Been enjoying people's videos. Trying not to watch as many of the Napoleonics as I've been watching because, again, I don't need any new paintable models. Refining my New Year's resolutions as well. Which, looking back at the ones I set for last year, one I abjectly failed on, and that was to get my entire ancient Greek army painted. One I did okay on, which was to progress towards my black belt in Aikido, which I only have 2 more tests to go, which will probably be by the end of this year. And then I'll be done. Well, not done, but able to teach if I wanted to. Mr. Miyagi would be proud. But anyway, so now I just have to do that 9 more times. And get the Warjacks done as well. You can see this. He's gotten some of the colors blocked on him. He's only got a little bit of black on him there. And on the shoulder pads. And then the other 2 Jacks and Krios, and then I'll be done with the War Machine guys. Well, not done, but need to get new models because one of the model groups I have just keeps dying. It doesn't do so well at attacking and doing what they're intended to do, which is to help me win battles. But that'll be for later. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Mourn, if you will, David Bowie and Alan Rickman. May they rest in peace. And may I live past 69. That's only about 2 decades away from me. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Adios.